good? I'm back at it again. This is your man Savage Solo. Look, man, I'm going ahead and get into it. I know the video's been out for a couple days, but I'm going to talk about Nicki Minaj, right? Let's talk about Nicki Minaj. You know, I saw her Chung Lee video. Personally, because I'm very visual. I love when I see beautiful aesthetics, well-written pieces, concepts executed on the screen. I love that shit. I think one of the things that's extremely lacking in rap music and hip-hop today is that the videos are shit. Thank you, Chief Keef, when you stand in a video with a bunch of shirtless niggas with Glocks pointed at the camera and it became a lazy-ass trend that a lot of niggas hopped on. So you don't see any more of the big budget videos that you once did when you was real little, like the bad boy shit. Although I don't want to see Puffy arguing with Godzilla on the screen. I mean, that shit was kind of lame, but it was funny when you think about it in a goofy way, but that's another story. So I will say this. I saw 2 videos from Nicki Minaj. I saw the first video, I believe it was barbi-ting. I can't remember which one dropped. I'm just saying the first one that I saw was barbi-ting. I was like, it's a little bit 2009-ish for me, personally. I thought it was a little bit too 2009-ish, but some people rock with it, especially her little Barbie doll heads, all right? The little brat dolls that follow her. However, on the flip side of the game, the Chung Lee video is beautiful. It is. It's just beautiful. Aesthetically, it is stunning. I think, personally, it's caught between, for me, as far as Nicki Minaj videos, I would say Looking Ass Nigga and Chung Lee are her 2 best videos. That's what I feel. I think Looking Ass Niggas, I know some Looking Ass Niggas got offended, but I fucked with the song and I fucked with the video. Nicki Minaj was looking very beautiful in the video. That's one thing you can't take away from the little egg-headed girl. She's very beautiful. But I thought in the video, man, I said, you know what? This is the shit I'm talking about. But you know what? Nicki Minaj came out the gate swinging and she says, look, y'all, you know, I got buried. I kind of got buried last year. You know, the wave was swept against me, the train. Whether you believe her or not, that's entirely upon you. But I will say this. When she first dropped hints of a video for Chung Lee and she did the little Instagram shit where it looked like it was shot with a potato, I says, come on, Nicki, now. Like, I'm not the biggest Nicki fan, but come on, girl. Like, you got to give us something more than that. All right? You got a carbon copy microwave clone called Cardi B out here stunting. You gotta come back with something. Now, that ain't no real disrespect to Cardi B. I mean, I understand what she represents. I will understand what it is. And I know some cats, they be like, yo, man, she don't write her rhymes. She's been put together. She's manufactured. I'm like, how many other niggas in the game are not that either? But I will say this. For Nicki Minaj, it was very important for her to deliver something of character, something of caliber, something where people can like, yo, that's what I like. You gotta give us something where the people, despite the interpretations of how your image has been in the last couple years, you gotta give the public a reason to like something from you or about you or like you in general. And I will say this, if this is the start of her campaign and she keeps rolling out videos at this caliber, then Nicki Minaj ain't going nowhere for right now. She's not. I know she's getting older. But technically, we got a 50-year-old Jay-Z still running around. But lyrically, I will not compare the two. I always got to put out a disclaimer because you know those hip-hop purists, they be on your way. Wait a minute. Don't say Jay-Z and Nicki Minaj are the same sentence, man. That's not right. But I will say this. I enjoyed the visual, and this is what I was looking for, all right? But let's just talk about this, though. Realistically, the life expectancy of one Nicki Minaj as an artist, as a personality, could be very long, depending on how she plays the game. Because despite taking a perceived loss, or an emphatic loss, lyrically, when it came to the battling of one gangster, Remy, Cool G Rap Ma, for the most part, Nicki Minaj still has a large fan base that she's able to work with. And that's all you need, because as an artist, you're gonna run into dips, you're going to run into peaks, you're gonna run into valleys, and you're going to plateau at times in your career. But what's most important is that, look, you're not gonna be able to keep the mainstream, you're not gonna be able to keep a large audience for too long, but as long as you have that solid, heavy fan base that really fucks with your shit, you're Gucci. You will be able to eat, especially in this age, right? So, one thing I do know about Nicki Minaj, her and her Barbie brat dolls, they support her. They support her 100%. And for a moment, it may look like she was going somewhere, but when I actually look at how things are constructed, when I actually slow down and analyze the scene, I was like, man, you know what? This little egg-headed girl is going to be here for a moment. Now, we already see the destruction of one Cardi B, because let's be real, for Atlantic Records, it was a quick trap house crack flip, right? It was basically great value Nicki Minaj. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. I think Cardi B has a very funny personality, and I do understand the appeal for certain people, not necessarily my type of music. I listened to her album, did a review of it, of everything, and I said, I understand why people fuck with it. It is what it is, right? But long term, Cardi B can't keep up that energy because the energy in its essence was a bit fabricated. We gotta be real about that. Now, was there some slight fabrication with Nicki Minaj and her energy? To a degree. No more than what happens with most record labels. If Kendrick Lamar is right at 250,000 units, then Interscope go ahead and buys an additional 150,000 more units to make them numbers look good, right? Let's get them Mark McGuire numbers up, right? And that's pretty much the traditional way of how the fabrication even works with one Nicki Minaj, right? Now, I know people bring up like, well, what about Safari, this, that, and the third? Look, this is how I looked at both of them. They were in a relationship at the time, and I do believe this. I do believe that Safari was a very punchline heavy MC. Even if you go check out his work, not necessarily the best delivery that I get from Safari, but I will say when I listen, I do hear his punchlines, I do hear his double entendres. He is a witty MC, but his delivery puts a lot of people off. And there are some people who actually fuck with his music, I understand that. But I do know when they broke up and he left that particular camp that I noticed there was a bit lag in the punchlines or the frequency of the punchlines in more of the subsequent music that was following Nicki Minaj. Right around she did a couple tracks with Jason Derulo and Gucci Mane, and I was listening to her bars and I'm like, man, they sounding a little bit sleepy right now, right? Sounding a little bit sleepy. But I will say what Nicki Minaj has to work with, she does write though. She does write her shit. She writes. So I kind of look at that situation as an Ashford and Simpson situation. They both were boyfriend and girlfriend. They both were with each other for 15 years. And let's look at it like this to a lot of the fellas that was complaining. If you're in a relationship with your woman and your woman is a superstar, super fucking rap star, that niggas are masturbating all day and night over those prosthetic cheeks, and you want the money to keep coming in, you're going to assist your woman in any shape, form, whatever. You know what I'm saying? And I saw that's what the energy was between them. I don't know to the degree of what she wrote or what she didn't write. That's a non-issue for me at this point. What is an issue is that where she can stand when it comes to hip-hop. I know there's some shit that went on behind the scenes. We had a few women come forward about Nicki Minaj has been sitting her plastic ass cheeks on top of us. We ain't been able to breathe. She blocking bitches in the game, blah, 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 blah. That's how some of them came out. That's what they said. Remy Ma was saying, yo, you blocking women in the game. What's going on? That is unfortunate, but here's the thing about it, though. It's the dynamic of how the women are coming into the game and how they're perceived, right? There can only be one. Like, we always talk about the HNIC, right, in hip-hop when it comes to the nigga males. But actually, the nigga female space, it truly is on some Highlander shit. That there can only be one, however it's framed and structured within hip-hop. So we may have some HNIC niggas in hip-hop, but really, there's a bunch of cats can exist. One cat can exist in one space. At the most, he's gonna diss this dude, but it ain't necessarily fucking him out of a position. You know what I mean? But with the women, it's a little different. Like, Lil Kim came in, and we saw what she had to go through, and then here comes Nicki Minaj. Lil Kim and Nicki Minaj, for whatever reason, wasn't allowed to exist in the same space. Even right now, when we talk about Cardi B versus Nicki Minaj, they can't, for some reason, by the optics from the general public, they're not allowed to live in the same space, right? So there's this more antagonizing, aggressive energy between some of these women because they're like, yo, this bitch stepping in on my territory. You copying me. You know how these men are. You know it can only be one. You know how dumb the public is. They can only be one. There can be only one bad boss bitch. Yes, that is how it is. So that's why we got a Cardi B, because Atlantic was like, we studied your ingredients. Now we're gonna flip the shit for ourselves. And that's what they did. That's exactly what they did. And what Cardi B was a quick flip. It was on some trap house shit. So right now when we hear all of this shit coming out about Cardi B, now her image is not as protected as it once was when everybody was being paid off to say, yay, Cardi B, you can run across the finish line, yay! Now that they kind of got their money, they got their kickback, these big corporations that worked with Cardi B got the the high. The high is over. So now all of this shit is about, okay, you know, Cardi B has a 360 deal. She's getting fucked financially. Oh, this is what's taking place. That is what's taking place. Now, Atlantic flipped her real quick on some trap house shit, and now they shutting down shop. That's what's happening with Cardi B right now. They're shutting down shop, right? But then when you look at the long-term efforts of one Nicki Minaj, she's been here for a moment. She has done a lot of things. In fact, I will believe there was Beyonce, Rihanna, and then Nicki Minaj when you're talking about the 3 top women in the game. I'm just saying, from a fiscal standpoint, I know some people gonna get butthurt. I see the top women in the game. No, fuck all that. I'm not talking about if you fuck with her music or not. I'm talking about fiscally, financially. Right? When we're talking about money making, right? As far as this generation, our era, it was Beyonce, Rihanna, and in her own space, but still within that crew, Nicki Minaj. And so now we see a situation where her brand is strong. Whether we disagree with it or not, her brand is fucking strong. So after taking that L on some Sheetha shit with Remy Ma, right? And then we saw the Safari debacle. Then we had, you know, some of these MCs who came out on some hashtag Me Too shit to some degree, like, yo, yeah, Nicki Minaj blocked my career too. Then we see Atlantic Records. They said, fuck that. This is the perfect time to release the Kraken.
Right. Release the Kraken. Right.
And AKA Cardi B roll her ass out. And that's exactly what they did. They rolled the Kraken Cardi B out, right? And so Cardi B was getting all this wave and getting all this praise because people was just so sick of Nicki Minaj. They were so disappointed. They were so upset. And I was like, wow, that's incredible. I did a few commentary videos on it. I touched on it here. We touched on it on Thought Crimes. And I said, wow, this is incredible. We'll see how Nicki is able to play this out. So what did she do? She got on her sensei shit. I mean, literally, she came back as Chung-Li, but she got on her sensei shit and she retreated. And I was like, tactically, that is a smart plan. Let the fire burn. Let the fire burn. Because when Nicki Minaj seemed like she was taking shots at Cardi B still, and to some degree fucking around with a Remy Ma who had won the public over briefly, it was a bad look for her. Because people were still like, yo, Nicki Minaj, go sit the fuck down. Right now, we fucking with Remy Ma. Right now, we fucking with Cardi B. And in many cases, for anyone dealing with that type of situation when it comes to the public, the goddamn public, it is best at times, especially if you've taken perceived L's publicly, to retreat. Allow for the flame to burn out because that gasoline/charcoal cannot keep that shit cooking forever. And that's exactly what she did. So she came back with 2 tracks. She dropped the 2 tracks, Barbi-Tings and Chung-Li. 2 different energies, but she put her foot into them tracks. She literally put her foot into them tracks. People felt lyrically Barbi-Tings was superior. They said, damn, yo, Nicki Minaj back with the puncher. This is the Barbie that we know, right? Then the Chung-Li, me personally, I felt the sonic energy of Chung-Li. I just felt it was a better song. Personally. But however the case was, she had people ping-ponging between both of her tracks. That was a win for Nicki. Then when she rolled out the pictures of her sitting in the chair with her legs open on some Chung-Li nigga cosplay and shit on her blurred shit, oh my God, did you see the motherfuckers lose their mind? Both nigga males and nigga females went crazy. Then I said, well, I'm waiting for the video though, for this Chung-Li shit, because I didn't care about the Barbi-Ting song. I not like that because I already knew what it was going to be. The video turned to be exactly what I thought it was. But the Chung-Li one, I was like, I'm interested. I want to see what this little egg-headed girl is going to do. And guess what? She dropped one video, and it was on some Instagram shit. And I remember I did a criticism. I remember I reviewed the video. I was like, oh, come on, son. You can't come back with this shit. You look like you're sleeping on the couch. You look like you just ate. You look like you rapping with the itis in the video. You look sleeping, Nicki. Let's go. Then she drops this video. Video is dope. It's dope. I would say, hands down, it is one of her best videos. I'm just being real with you. That's all I'm saying. From an artistic standpoint, I am only criticizing Nicki Minaj from an artistic standpoint. Now, the other aspects of her life you disagree with, fine, whatever. I'm just talking about the visual aesthetics of the video and her as an artist / rapper / hip hop and / heavyweight in the game. She is a heavyweight in the game, all right? But the video came out, it was dope, it was nice, and it's something I just wish more rappers would do right now. Like, I'm so sick of these boring ass world star videos. The shit sucks. They do. Like, if it's not the world star shit, it's some Eminem and Royce da 5'9" Caterpillar shit. The motherfucker's just standing there. I'm like, man, why the fuck do I want to see you stand there and rap the shit I can just listen to while I'm looking at some other shit? So, for me personally, I haven't been a big Nicki Minaj fan. I will say the two best videos that I've personally enjoyed from Nicki Minaj and songs is Looking Ass Nigga and this Chung Lee joint. And with Chung Lee, as we saw the trending #1 on social media, one can say is, yo, she's a heavyweight in the game. I mean, think about it. It's about what you go through that makes you legendary, that makes you strong, right? Part of the reason why Nas is celebrated, because the nigga didn't let Jay-Z shake him. The nigga survived Jay-Z. We're talking about a premier blueprint Jay-Z. Some people may feel Jay-Z was at his apex with Black Album. Nah. I felt Jay was at his apex with Blueprint. That nigga was on some Yoda shit. The nigga was just vibrating blue. He was on some reverse nigga Flash shit. He was a blue Flash. And he said, let me step down on this nigga named Nas. Hey, yo, Nas, you not like me? Nas came back with Ether, leveled the game. And Nas was celebrated for that. They was like, yo, nigga, you took out Rockefeller Records, my nigga. Because he survived that shit. People forget of just how much power Hove and Rockefeller Records had in the day. Nicki Minaj, same thing. Whether you agree with her little eggheaded self or not, the girl is built for it tough. She plays everything right. She got her fan base. She got her stan base. And they riding with her. She survived Remy fucking Ma. Son, Remy Ma. Yo, bro, we ain't talking about no Ronald McDonald ass rapper. It ain't that like, yo, she survived a Tekashi 6ix9ine. No, she survived fucking Remy Ma. And this is what I mean by survive. Did she come back with a No Vaseline diss track? No, absolutely not. No, by far from it. But to even have that to be the case, right? Then go through the personal shit with the Safari and then have her image, her as a personality, her as a human being to be in question. To have that be out there, right? Then people get on and they troll her and say, yo, man, this is just a whoop Nicki ass train. This is just a spank her ass tour. To have that to happen, right? And then she turns around, she retreats. She says, all right, I get it. I'm the bad guy. They need rappers like me. They need rappers like me. She go retreat, right? Then she come back with two dope joints for different audiences. Because it's a split. Some of our people really fuck with the barbi-ting. Some people fuck with both. Some people just fuck with Chung Lee. I know many casual Nicki Minaj listeners, like myself, we tend to enjoy Chung Lee a little better. We not into the whole Barbie shit. I'm not into that shit. I'll pass. I'm all right. But she's here, trending. And she also had a clone rolled out on her on top of that. That she just said, look, I'm gonna wait till the shit burns out and then I'll drop my shit. And that's exactly what she did. And that's how you play the game. Go ahead, motherfucker. The little egg-headed girl did it once again. So anyway, share your thoughts on the situation. Any of the fucking nigga points that I put out there, tell me what you think about it. This is your man, Savage Solomon. Like, subscribe, and if you motherfucking care, nigga, then share. Peace.